What's up, Ops team? Hey, we're in between trips. There's no volleyball this week and no shooting matches or anything this week. We are getting ready to go out of state soon. And in the meantime, we're going to give you a trip around our hometown. So here's some of the hometown highlights from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
So I think we'll do like little ones here and there.
Probably.
Because obviously there's more than one site.
Right. So we'll do, maybe we'll do a bigger one up, lead up. This one right here. And then we'll give you some other tidbits throughout the week.
Yeah. Throw in some quick little...
Yeah. Some secret spots and things like that.
Yeah. All right. Stay tuned.
Enjoy. We're at the one of the North Carolina State Veterans Parks. It's here in Fayetteville. And some cool stuff here. One of the biggest attractions of this place really is the Special Operations Airborne Museum is here, and it's legit. It's pretty cool. So we'll go check that out. So I really dig this kind of stuff. This is obviously a history museum, but it's this one in particular is dedicated to Airborne and Special Operations forces from the time of their inception all the way through now. So anything that any airborne guys or special ops guys have done and is touched on somewhere in this museum. Kind of behind Stacy, you see like architects and legends. They're like kind of all the dudes that really created like what's now modern day special operations, you know, from General Darby all the way, you know, to the end of World War II. These are guys that, if you're an SF dude, you probably recognize these names for sure. There's knives named after them and stuff, but it's just cool to see them kind of memorialized in one place, you know.
So what are the things? Stand up.
Yes. But you would have to get ready first.
Which is that one?
It's both hands together.
Don't. Get ready.
Yeah.
And then?
Stand up.
Stand up. And how many minutes do we have?
Look up.
Oh, look up.
Check static lines, check equipment.
Checking out, making sure your parachute's going to open up. Yeah. And then we'll look out the door.
Yeah, that's good.
Spot the drop zone.
That's good. Just these kind of things I really dig. It's like the old, like, complete propaganda, like pro-American stuff that makes it like totally rad. It just seems totally rad to me that like everybody was into this kind of stuff. So it's cool to see it hanging up, and I just like that stuff, man. It's cool. It's weird to think about too, like, you know, you're talking World War II times, and you see like some of the flags in that photo that later became like arch nemesis, like super enemies, you know. And but at that time, did what you had to do to win, right? So this display right here is pretty cool. It's talking about the Jedburgh teams, and if you don't know, they were like one of the OG like special operations dudes, and they it was a 3-man team. They were trained on a camp called Jedburgh, is in Scotland. They were named after that. And the Jedburgh teams basically they jumped into occupied France during World War II, and then they organized the partisans to fight against the Germans. So pretty bold. This guy right here, the MG42, German machine gun. Cool about that is we had one of these on a camp that I was at in Iraq, right? We had found one. Somebody had found one in some place. I didn't personally find it, but it was in our little ready room hanging out. Pretty rad. I had to spin the camera around for this one. This is one of my faves. I like this little display they have right here. More propaganda. I love it. Into the Pacific Theater stuff. Pretty rad. Triple nickels. Pretty rad little display. All black. Airborne unit, World War II. Studs right there, bro. All right, here we're getting into some of the establishment of what I consider my lineage, I guess. Establishment of the U.S. Army Special Forces.
Inside of a gun position,
Rad.
on the islands of the sea. They run that gun out, pull it back inside the mountain. No amount of firepower can take it out.
Pretty famous photo right here
Went in and took that gun out.
of
And destroyed the mountain.
President Kennedy and General Yarborough.
That the 82,
If, for those who don't
was a
know,
great history lesson.
President Kennedy's the guy who basically gave the permission for the units at the time to wear the Green Beret. So kind of made it official, if you would. Guys, I guess we're wearing them already, but the president made it okay to do. So how many of us have it out there ever humped one of these guys? I did. LERPs in Vietnam. I'm fortunate enough to be old enough to actually know a couple of those guys who were still instructors around the qualification course when I went through, and wealth of knowledge, and super humbling to be around them guys. Colonel Rowe. If you're not aware who Colonel Nick Rowe was, he was captured by the North Vietnamese and held prisoner for 5 years, and he escaped. And then he wrote a book called 5 Years to Freedom, and was later instrumental, basically the key component in developing our survival, escape, resistance, and evasion course, and another Special Forces legend. So this is a pretty cool one to me personally. This is like one of the first like actual like military things that I can remember as a kid, because My dad was in 2nd Ranger Battalion in 1983 when they jumped into Grenada, so I distinctly remember how nervous my mom was and all that stuff, because they did a legit alert, fly away, did all that stuff, so it was kind of impactful on a young guy's life. So one of the first things I remember. It's pretty cool. Then they also have a display back here of the rescue of Kurt Muse during Just Cause in Panama in '89, which is a pretty good one. And Rangers in Panama. What a stud this guy is. He's jumping into Panama and he's got starches on. And the gift shop. This gift shop is legit. Like, there's a lot of stuff in it. So if you like buying gifts, military themed ones, this is the place for you.
Would you like to donate a dollar to help operator exhibits?
Sure.
Home is where the Army sends you.
Yeah. That's a good shirt, dude. Good shirt for Fayetteville. Absolutely true. You don't know which dude you're touching around here is going to be some kind of closet ninja weirdo. Tear your arms out of socket.